right, Sunday live session with the chef. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. Good. A little bit happy, a little bit not happy because I move this weekend. I travel and I don't like to travel, and I didn't expect it to stay in this heat. But you don't imagine where I move now, the level of heat. But this is not nothing related with crypto.
Doesn't matter, mate. You're living the dream. You're traveling around the place. Look at you.
Yeah.
You're all red from the sun. And I'll tell you what, I know I have evidence, and I'm going to share with everyone watching right now your favorite part of the entire week. You ready for it? That right there is your favorite part of the entire week.
Oh,
yeah. Check out the size on that coffee. You are kidding.
Oh, buddy, you don't imagine. In my opinion, I think this glass, yes, let's say like that, this cup of coffee, I think is minimum 8 people. I'm not joking. But yeah, was amazing.
Crazy, dude, crazy. So then you call me today. Why don't you tell everyone what you did today when you gave me a phone call as well this afternoon?
Oh my God! So I don't know if it's everywhere in some of the countries, but in some of the countries, go to the seaside, you know that a meter of beer. Yeah. So today I ordered, me and my girlfriend, a meter of beer. I'm not joking. Was like 6 different types of beers. Some of them really good. I didn't expect it. By the way, Matt, I didn't expect it in Vietnam to find real ale beer. Yeah, real ale.
Yeah,
it was, oh my God, was amazing, but very good. And by the way, we finish in half an hour all the glasses. Because of the heat. Oh yes, you don't imagine the level of heat here. But yeah, nice. This is the beauty when you're traveling. And guys, if you want these lifestyles, click check the link in the description. You can do it, not exactly like over the night, but with hard work. And if you follow the rules, you know what we teach you here, what we try to teach you here, you can follow this type of life. It's very simple.
Exactly, buddy. Well, how about you get into it? Do you want to have a look? So let's talk about what happened this week on the charts, what we talked about within our community on the charts, how it played out, and we'll talk about a few other things that happened within our community, and then what we're seeing next week. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes, buddy, of course. Let's do it. Let's see some
charts. You can jump into some Bitcoin, and then I'll jump into a couple of the alts, and we'll tag team it from there, my friend.
Exactly, buddy. So guys, look at here. Remember last week we're talking about Bitcoin. Yeah, look what happened. I'm on daily time frame. I told you when I saw that for Friday, the end of the last week, and I told you guys, be careful because we break strong support in that period of time. Coming back, perfect retest. Yeah, and look what happened. According to my scenario, first level it's touch. Yeah, I told you I don't know how fast we'll go to the downside, but guys, if you're looking on daily, again, what is going on now, this is a bearish flag. I told you a lot of times, a rising wedge, be careful. So again, first levels was touched. Now, to be honest, sorry to tell you guys, but it's a chance to coming back here if Monday. But Monday, I don't know for sure, guys. By the way, this is a long weekend. Tomorrow in UK and US, bank holiday. So also the stock market will be closed. So I'm very curious how the market will react tomorrow, especially crypto, because you know it's a non-stop market. It's not closed like traditional markets. So if for me, Bitcoin is not climbing and make a candle, a closing full body candle on top on the previous what happened in these areas, like you can see here, I have my signal telling me was the second entry for the short. That one is the first one. Perfect play. Now let's see, I'm very curious if we'll keep this support. If it's not keeping this support, I'm expecting to touch at least this line.
Do you know what that support was, mate? That was a 382 fib from the very, very low of the move. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect bounce right off it to the dollar. Incredible.
Incredible. Yes, exactly. So now, Matt, let's see what is going on. Me personally, I will be very happy to coming back here. I'm talking about when you want to trade in this market, not about our spot wallets. Yeah. So here, if it's playing like that, believe me, maybe in that time we have some chances to have some very nice entry in our altcoins. And guys, Matt will tell you which type of altcoins you will see. For the moment, I'm looking only on Bitcoin, but believe me, because I saw some interesting moves in this week with some of the altcoins. Was a little bit against what happened with Bitcoin, but and different time frames. So this is my scenario for Bitcoin. Also, what I'm watching for me is very important. Look, what is going on here. Again, daily time frame, USDT market dominance, very important for me. I don't like it what is going on here because it is staying too much in this area. Finally, a Friday break it, retest it a little bit Saturday, but look what happened because I saw some small moves in some of the altcoins. So look where you are. I don't know what is going on. Maybe from here will be strong support and it will go like that, which if Bitcoin will go to the downside in that area, I think this chart of course will make the reverse against Bitcoin, and this is my scenario. If we have some type of push in the market, I'm expecting USDT dominant to coming back and retest this area. So keep an eye on this chart. In my opinion, Bitcoin and USDT dominance are the most important charts for next week. Another one, in my opinion, you need to follow BTC dominance. Another very important chart. Look what happened. Finally break it. That long accumulation area, let's say like that. I know it's a BTC dominant, but imagine it's a token to trade it. Yeah. So they keep this area for a while. Break it now. Let's see if this one will be a support, because this one will be a support. I'm seeing BTC dominance climbing even more. Yeah, you know how it's looking on higher time frames like that. Sorry for the noise, guys. Look where you are. Yeah, it's a chance to go and touch this support which was coming from 2022. So Matt, I'm also watching this chart. And for another one for me, remember, buddy, we're talking about in our community, the most important chart in my opinion, which I don't know how many people they are looking on this one. Look, 10 years yield. Yeah, remember we saw that one. I'm on weekly time frame now. Yeah, but our last week, this week, because it's not finished yet, we saw that move and I was very concerned. The reason, because if you're going on weekly like that and even monthly, in my opinion, this is a huge bull flag. And we don't want for this chart to play this bull flag. Will be, let's say, not so well for, especially for our market. So yeah, buddy, that was the recap what happened. What we'll expect this week. Already I told in general like that. If you're looking again on daily, and I will finish with this one. Me, two choices. If it's breaking this type of level from here, this type of resistance, we can have some push in the market and go even higher. Or in my opinion, if it's not keeping this support, this is the next area of interest for us. So I will keep an eye on what Bitcoin will do like that. And also, of course, on the altcoins, which by the way, Matt will show you some of the altcoins and what he's following. And again, if you look on the oscillators daily time frame, guys, we are exactly in the middle, so not a clear direction for me what is going on now. That's it, buddy. This is in my opinion the recap what happened last week.
Awesome. No, it's awesome, man. And what the other thing that's interesting is on Saturday when we got the rejection. So when we ended up getting the Bitcoin rejection up here, you were on the daily time frame, but when we got this rejection up here, actually on Friday, where was it, up here? When we got this rejection on Friday, that actually equated to, you know, all the way, like I said, down to this 382. Let me go out to the daily just to make life a little bit easier for everyone to see. Yeah. But when we got this rejection here, this equated to a significant amount of liquidations. Have a look at that. Look at that, buddy. $348 million in liquidations. Longs liquidated. Wow. So people were, you know, expecting much higher number. One price to push up. 348 million liquidated, and they've come down there into that 382, bought the dip, and now we're sort of pushing up a bit. But like you said, tomorrow in the US is Memorial Day holiday, so there's going to be lower liquidity. So it's you've got to put the calculator on and start working out, is it worth it, or is it worth sitting out of the market? And what's the number one safest thing to do is make a decision that your trade decision is no trade, right? That's always the safest thing to do. And we nailed that last week, man. We told our community that we were sitting on the sidelines, that we were going to wait. We're going to wait for the dust to settle. And, this is the big thing that we talked about earlier in the week. This massive liquidation event over here, we talked about that being a possibility. They laid the trap last weekend. They set the trap on the Monday, and it went off. People got liquidated. We stayed safe. We jumped into some positions on Wednesday. Yep. We got out of them by Friday. Happy days, took our profit, and now we're sitting pretty on the weekend. You're drinking massive coffees, you're drinking bloody all these beers, and you're having a great time, getting sunburned, living the dream.
Oh, exactly. Look at my face, buddy. Look at my face.
I know, mate. You're looking a bit red there. You need some aloe vera, my friend.
Yes, exactly.
So, like you said, mate, we want to see if we can get above this little rejection point here. So we're looking at, if we can't crack 78,000, we're in a little bit of trouble tomorrow. We're going to come down lower. That's going to be a lower high. And then we're looking at these other levels. We've got support at 71.5 there. Which is the bottom of that flag there that you talked about. So there's a very big possibility of that coming in. But during the week, we like I said, we had a pretty good week during the week. We had a look at a couple of trades here. Sui was one that we were watching during the week, and if we zoom in on it, we waited patiently throughout the week for this thing. We looked at it on Monday, and we sat in it very, very patiently on Monday. Here we go. So on Monday, we were waiting for it over here. We saw the drop down into here. We saw the accumulation. We didn't rush getting into it because we just weren't seeing the volume that we wanted to see. You can see over here where I talked about it with the community. I wanted to see rising volume, right? We just weren't getting it, but we did get it to come into here. And then we eventually saw some volume coming in, and we managed to catch that. So when we zoomed in on the shorter time frame, we saw on this candle here, we had some volume coming into the market, and we were able to get in, and we took our profit at a few key levels, and we managed to get out as it came back and crossed our point of no return line there. And we had a good one as well on Filecoin. Look at Filecoin. Yeah. We got 2 take profits on Filecoin. We got 1 take profit here at this first resistance level. Second resistance level, we had another take profit. Then it happened to roll over on us, and our last remaining position got stopped out. But all good, right? We collected some profit. Similarly on Sol, another one, right? Jumped into Solana here. We got some profit at that first level. It showed some weakness, so I actually got completely out of it at that level. Then it did break a flag on the shorter time frame, and I got back in, and then I got stopped out again. Back at my entry again. So I got one good win out of that, and then I got stopped at entry on the next one. So all in all, it was a pretty good week, and I've been sitting out of the market ever since then. ZEC, that's it. ZEC was a banger. This is another one, right? So this is a trade that I missed. We talked about this in the community, but what happened was this all happened while I was asleep. We had the little breakout occur. We didn't fall for that one because we weren't seeing the volume we wanted at that point in time. We weren't getting the oscillator in the position we wanted. We were still seeing downwards momentum on the oscillator. So then on the retest, we got everything we wanted. Big spike in volume. We got the oscillator giving us a bullish signal, but it just happened while I was asleep. So I missed that entry, but that was an absolute banger. And you can see how that thing has moved straight up to TP1, straight into TP2, and then it went into distribution mode up there. And then it came back down and retested our TP1 level right there. And now it's popped again over the weekend. But I've left that alone. But that'll be an interesting one to see what happens tomorrow. If it comes up into here again and shows weakness, this could be a nice little short early in the week. If it can pop through here tomorrow, and we'll just be watching that level there. So what we can do is we can actually set an alert on this right here. And then when that alert goes off, we can have a look for that. And that could be a nice little short in that area there. back down into here again one more time and make the most of the triple top sort of situation in there. But we won't be guessing it. We won't be just shorting it as soon as it gets there. We're going to wait for the distribution to occur sideways, wait for the right signals, and we'll get in once we've got the confirmation of that. So we'll just track it. We'll track it with a trend and go for it like that. So yeah, we had a pretty decent week as far as that went. We showed a lot of patience once again. Today's Sunday. What do we do in our community on Sunday? We do our weekly review. So we've done our weekly review for the week. We've set our goals for next week. And one of the big things, Bogdan, we talked about in the community, which I think was a very, very big breakthrough for everyone, was we got some feedback that people didn't feel confident in having their own strategy, et cetera, right? So we kind of pointed out to them that, hey, if you've ever taken one trade before, just one, right? Whether it be on paper or in real life on an exchange, if you've taken one, you technically have a strategy. And you've got no way of knowing if that strategy is real and it works if you're not documenting down on paper what that strategy actually is. What are the checks that you do in order to trade that strategy, and then measure its performance over time so that you can actually make proper headways. So we went through that, mate, and how did that go? Hey, that was pretty nuts, wasn't it, in the community?
Perfect, buddy. Perfect. I didn't expect it to people to be so receptive on what we build here. So I enjoy it as much as them. I love it. So this is our target: people to start open and speak about and realize what is better for them, and to start working. Because okay, we can build a lot of tools and try to teach people, but the hardest work, you need to do it. Not that's the most important thing in my opinion.
Absolutely, man, and that's like what we said here, is that most people don't understand that they already actually have a strategy. Like if you've taken one trade, like I said, that's a strategy. You followed a strategy. It might not be a good strategy, right? It might be a good strategy, but how do you know if you're not actually logging down what you did and doing it on a repeatable basis, right? Yeah. When you were a chef, did you used to follow the same recipe over and over and over again in order for you to get a solid result over and over again, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's what we should do in trading, right?
If
you change your recipe constantly, you were never going to get the same result each time, were you?
No. In the beginning, yes, buddy. If you try to perfect, for example, if you want to I'm talking about for the people because you have a great analogy. Yes, what you tell our community now. But what I'm in the beginning, if you don't have a recipe, and for the people they don't have a trading strategy, you develop that one until it's working. After, you need to repeat exactly like you said. Yeah, you need to become a robot. It needs to becoming boring. If it's not becoming boring, your trading strategy is not a trading strategy.
And again, let's go back to the chef analogy, right? Because I know that you relate to this and you know the feeling. Yeah. Remember, you've made a recipe 1,000 times. Is it exciting to make, or is it boring, right?
It's boring.
Boring. But how good are you at making that particular item, right?
With my close eye, buddy, like that.
Exactly.
I can do it like that.
And why would you want trading to be any different, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know something else, I think it's the most important thing, because if your trading strategy is coming like that, you don't need to spend hours in the front of the computer. You just open your computer, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, you already know what is direction of the market, and that's it. This after, enjoy your life. Don't need to stay 12 hours per day, 8 hours per day. I don't know how long to watch the charts.
You can't afford to spend 8 hours looking at charts, because it takes you 6 hours to drink that cup of coffee in the morning. So you
Yes, exactly, buddy. Exactly.
Yeah. So that was a big breakthrough for the community, right? We've come up with this strategy development tool here, and by the way, this is mounted now in our hub. This is our learning hub, part of our community. That is getting launched to our community next week. starting the 1st of June. It's already actually up and running and everything like that. I'm just testing a few bits and pieces about it, but you can see in there, it's got the strategy builder built in. It has got your daily routines, your weekly routines, everything like that built into it. You see that, the winning traders routine. We've got our morning routine, our pre-market routine. This is where we look at the context of the market. We've got our post-market routine. What do we do at the end of the day? And what do we do? Today's Sunday. This is what we did today, our weekly routine. We go through and check what we did. So, mate, it's all there. We've got a little learning pathway built in as well for people to follow. Talks about the different 12 dimensions. So something exciting, mate. I'm just testing it out right now. I've actually spent most of the weekend working on it, building it, making sure it works. So it's something that is going to be launched very soon. So it's pretty exciting.
And very exciting, buddy. And I hope the people actually I can share some charts, because you said something very important. We discussed here about something very important. How the important is your to follow the rules. Yeah, because sometimes it's not so. Because guys, let me tell you something. My rules, for example, I have only 2 trades in the same time. I'm not joking. All our community, they know that. Yeah, my trading style like that, because in the past I was crazy and I'm going like 10, 12, 15 trades in the same time. Now my rules, 2 trades. If I have 2 rules, that's it. It doesn't matter how many bullish charts, how many possibility for a very good entry, I'm not taking. Yeah, because like Matt told you, you need to respect. If you broke your rules, this is only the beginning. Because the moment you start breaking only one from all your rules, you'll start breaking next week 2 rules, 3 rules, and that's it. Everything is disappeared. So let me show you something very important. How was last week for me related with trading? I have 2 trades, like all our members, they know already. One was radio. Going to my target? No, but beware, when I saw that there, when breaking it on a lower time frame, like that, coming back, I take my damn profits. What happened? Nothing. Nonsense. Yeah, very happy. Yeah, that's it. Again, all our community, I pick the fastest horses? No, you never know. Yeah, so this, but again, very important to follow your rules. Yeah, I was very happy with this profit. Another one which I share in our community, and also I take it, was this one. Exactly there. This is on my trade. Follow my target, go to my target exact? No. But believe me, I take my profits there. When I saw that one, okay, I'm happy. That's it for me. It's very good. I saw other trades, of course I saw, and I share with in our community. Yeah, we discussed. I remember, and I hope a couple of members, for example, they take midnight. Yeah, me, I didn't take it. Look at that entry. Yeah. From Friday, from there we discussed in a US session, they take that. Look how it's playing. Me,
look at the reversal on that resistance zone. Wow.
Exactly, buddy. Exactly. Look what it was. We discussed, and I told everybody, guys, look at this candle from here. Of course they will go and retouch that. But me, I take the trades. No way. Why? Because I need to follow my rules. Yeah, so this is very important. I'm upset now because I didn't take. No, because I make my profits, so it doesn't matter, guys. Yeah, that's the reason we try to explain because sometimes you do this type of mistake. This was a happy case. Yeah, this one going to the upside, but imagine to take the third one going against you, touch your stop loss. It means you give up your money back to the markets. Why? Hard work. Yeah, you need to work a lot for especially in these days. So it's very important to follow your rules, because you know something, next week the market is still here, so you have time. Yeah, patience, the most important thing. So yes, buddy, that's the reason I want to show people, because a lot of them, and we discuss in our community about what we know Bitcoin direction on daily time frame, but we saw in the beginning of the this week actually, because sorry buddy, but in my head already finished the week because I'm not trading in the weekend.
No, exactly.
So,
exactly
buddy. And we saw some possible reversal going against Bitcoin on 4-hour time frame, and we make some money. So good for us.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So let's do a little bit of a recap. So next week, what we want to see happen is, obviously tomorrow could be a low liquidity day with the US market being closed. And actually across most of Europe, I think, is a holiday as well. So we're going to see, the European market and the US market that run back to back from each other, probably showing low liquidity. So there's going to be some weakness in the market, potentially some volatility in some of those other altcoins out there. So that's one of those things that we talked about in our last video that we did, mate. We talked about identifying what kind of market do you have, and if you've got a market that's volatile, you need to have a different set of rules for that particular market. So that's something to be aware of, knowing when these big bank holidays are happening in different countries, and is it going to affect their markets. So we got that. The next goal we want to have is we want to see if Bitcoin can get back above 78,000. So that's our goal. Can Bitcoin get above 78,000? If not, it's going to come back down and retest. Let me share my chart here, right?
Yes,
we can't get up above this 78,000 region in here that we rejected off of. So if we can't come up in here, get that higher high, and at least come back and retest the 200 again, we're in a little bit of trouble. And therefore, we've got this lower region back down here, 74,000 again. Look at that to the dollar. It tested that thing out on the 382. And then we're in real trouble. We've got the 100-day average here, and then we're looking at this 72,000 mark as a possibility. So we're going to show some patience. I know we keep talking about patience, but that is the way it is, right? Monday to Wednesday, we didn't have any real good opportunity. So then we found something on Wednesday to Friday. We traded that, we made some money, and now we're sitting out of the market on the weekend. And that's trading life, is finding those opportunities, getting in at the right time, getting out at the right time. And you'll find that when you have a reliable strategy and you show a lot of patience, you actually trade a lot less. And you don't need to be trading multiple times a day.
Oh, yeah. Exactly, buddy.
So there's the plan, buddy. So coming up this week in the community, our founding membership is now open. So guys, jump in there. Those of you that are already part of our free community, jump in and take care of that. There's only 100 spots left. I haven't done a count today to find out where we're at, but they are moving pretty quick. So jump in and get that. It's $79 for lifetime, right? Once they disappear, price is back up to $149 a month. So it's quite the deal. So capture it. And that's really it from me, Bogdan. That's all I wanted to cover. I wanted to wrap up the week, mate, talk about what's coming up this week. And that's really it.
Yeah, buddy, let me share a little bit something extra, because I forgot to share what is going on in the stock market.
Buddy, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Also, it's important. Like, guys, remember last week also we're talking about, okay, look what is going on with especially Nasdaq and S&P, the same situation, not Dow Jones. I will show you why. So look what happened. I told you guys, if you break that support, that will be a resistance. What happened Monday? Go under, retest, something like that from there, and after slowly go to the downside. Eventually, this one was a strong support, and look what is going on now. Now, Wednesday, after I saw that one, I know also a couple of our members, they take that entry in that time. Me, I didn't trade. Of course, I'm not trading this one on a 4-hour time frame, because I'm using some prop firms, and you cannot keep your trade how long you want, maximum 23 hours, but the people they are trading on this prop firm, they know the drill. So I make some quick scalp, and I make some money. Unfortunately, they stopped me, but with very nice profit. And after continuing like that, look what is going on. This is Nasdaq. So now it's, my opinion, is looking very interesting. Let's say from here, because on my signal, on my indicator, like you can see here, let me remove that because already play. I have this one, but it's under, under my under this green line, so I'm expecting some type of reversal. I don't want to speak about S&P 500. It's in the same situation. Look what happened, same drill. The only one, and I told you last week, pay attention to Dow Jones. What happened? Because on weekly time frame, if you're looking like that, S&P and Nasdaq are in this area. If you're looking on the chart, accepting the price, So look, I will show you to understand better, So broke that level. Dow Jones is there again. Look what happened weekly, Yeah, so please keep an eye. I'm not telling you what to do, but have Dow Jones on your watching list. It's very, very important. Yeah, because I think it's time for Dow Jones to catch up. Look how bullish it's looking. Yeah, on weekly time frame. I love it. I'm talking about the oscillators. I'm talking about my indicator. Yeah, perfect scenario in my opinion. So again, please keep an eye on Dow Jones because in my opinion, it's time to catch up. So that's it, buddy, what I want to show our community, because in my opinion, it's very important to look at these charts. So yeah, that's it what I have, buddy.
Perfect, buddy. Sorry, I was clicking the wrong buttons continuously.
Sorry, buddy, I cannot hear you. I think we have the small technical problems, but maybe
okay,
it's only
that's
me.
all good. All right, guys. So thanks very much to Bogdan for joining us today. Thanks to everyone else for joining us live. Thank you for all the awesome comments, and thanks to the community for attending all of our sessions during the week. And we're back into it again tomorrow, starting with the Asia market update first thing tomorrow morning, Australia time. So thanks everyone for tuning. Remember, stay safe, stay disciplined, stay sharp. We'll see you then. Bye.